Most people think they know Iraq. War, chaos, ruins. But that image collapses the moment you look closer. The dust settles, and what emerges isn't a postcard of destruction, but a tapestry woven with astonishing continuity. Because this country didn't just witness history, it created it. Writing, law, cities, time. The very concepts that order our world were first etched into clay and stone between the Tigris and Euphrates. And yet, almost no one travels here. It remains a blank space on the tourist map, a mystery guarded by perception. What shocked us wasn't what Iraq lost. It was what survived, not as museum pieces, but as living breath in the streets, in the soil, in the quiet defiance of memory. 1. The land that invented normal life. Before skyscrapers, before nations, before borders, when humanity was scattered and tribal, people here solved a problem no one had solved before: how millions of strangers lived together. In Mesopotamia, they engineered society itself. They invented contracts, laws, records, cities. The Idaba, scribal school, produced the world's first accountants, the first legal code. Hammurabis set down justice, and urban planning was born in crowded, bustling Uruk. Here's the contrast no one talks about. Modern life feels normal because of decisions made right here, thousands of years ago. The receipt in your wallet, the traffic code, the very idea of a city block. Their oldest templates lie here. And yet these places sit mostly empty. The ancient mounds or tells, where these revolutions happened, are often attended only by the wind and a lone guardian. 2. Babylon, famous, silent, unexpected. Everyone knows the name Babylon, synonymous with grandeur, excess, and the hanging gardens. But almost no one knows the silence. The overwhelming sound is your own footsteps on the processional way. No crowds, no lines, no gift shops. Just the raw, unfiltered archaeology of power. Reconstructed Ishtar Gate bricks marked with German factory stamps from the 20th century, a poignant merge of ancient and modern intervention. Just ruins of a city that once ruled the world. Nebuchadnezzar's throne room floor is simply there, exposed to the sun, where empires were directed. The shock isn't that Babylon fell, it's that its ideas outlived every empire that replaced it. Its astronomy, its myth of the flood, its 60-minute hour. They seeped into Greece, Rome, and into the very devices we use to tell time today. And the next city completely flips the narrative. From the cradle of ancient civilization to the heartbeat of a medieval enlightenment. 3. Baghdad, the city that shouldn't exist. Baghdad isn't what the headlines prepared you for. A river flows through the city. The Tigris is alive with shack tours, traditional motorboats, families picnicking on its banks at sunset, fishermen casting nets as they have for millennia. Markets buzz. Al Sharjah Market overflows with dates, spices, and tea glasses clinking, a symphony of commerce untouched by time. Families gather at night. The Corniche hums with laughter, street food sizzles, and life plays out in the open air. What most people don't know: Baghdad was once the intellectual capital of the world. The House of Wisdom, Beit al-Hikmah, wasn't just a library. It was a furious translation project where Persian, Indian, Greek, and Syrian knowledge was saved, debated, and advanced. While Europe struggled through the Dark Ages, scholars here preserved knowledge that later saved Western civilization. Al-Khwarizmi invented algebra. Medical encyclopedias written here became standard European texts for centuries. The very process of the scientific method was nurtured in its courtyards. That version of Baghdad almost vanished. Mongol sieges, river floods, and modern conflicts layered the city with scars. Almost. But in the resilience of its people, in the stubborn persistence of its riverbank culture, the essence of that city of scholars still flickers. 4. History that almost disappeared. Wars don't just destroy buildings. They erase memory. Looting of museums and libraries wasn't just theft. It was an attack on identity, a severing of the link to a foundational past. Entire chapters of human history were nearly lost. The sacking of 2003 saw the destruction of thousands of irreplaceable cuneiform tablets, each a potential sentence in the story of us. but many survived. Through the heroic efforts of Iraqi archaeologists who hid artifacts, or local citizens who later returned looted items, countless pieces were saved. Tablets, sculptures, objects older than nations. Like the work of Vase, a 5,000-year-old narrative sculpture of Sumerian life, recovered and now standing again in the newly reopened National Museum. And here's the uncomfortable thought. If these disappear, part of our story disappears too. Iraq isn't just their history, it's the prehistory of the modern world. Lose this, and we lose the preface to our own chapter. If you're drawn to places the world misunderstands, stories with layers, contradictions, and hidden depth, places where the present is in constant, quiet dialogue with a profound past, subscribe. This channel explores the world beyond headlines. We go to the source, not just the summary. 5. They tried to erase a city. In one northern city, destruction wasn't accidental. Mosul. The deliberate theatrical demolition of the Al-Nuri Mosque and its leaning minaret, a symbol of the city's endurance for 845 years. A symbol stood for centuries. It was destroyed in seconds. The intent was clear, to kill not just people, but their belonging, to erase the skyline of memory. But the story didn't end there. People returned. Memory returned. Artists painted murals of the minaret on shattered walls. Elders passed on stories of the old city's alleys. History refused to disappear. Archaeologists now work amidst rubble, piecing together the past, while the mosque is meticulously rebuilt, stone by stone. Resilience doesn't shout. It simply rebuilds. It's in the mason's hand, the shopkeeper's return, the student's determination to remember. 6. Life among millions of graves. In the desert lies the largest cemetery on earth, Wadi al-Salam in Najaf, a sprawling labyrinthine city of the dead, holding over 5 million souls, with tombs dating back over 1,400 years. Millions are buried here. But this place isn't silent. It echoes with the scrape of a mason's chisel carving a new tomb, the murmur of prayers, the call of a tea vendor navigating the narrow pathways. Families visit. Children walk between graves. Life flows through death. It is not a place of morbid finality, but of ongoing connection. The deceased remain part of the community's daily geography. It's shocking and strangely comforting. It reframes death not as a hidden terror, but as a natural integrated companion to life, a profoundly different cultural conversation with mortality. 7. Places most people never see. A blue lake in the desert. The stunning sapphire waters of Lake Dukin in the Kurdistan region, framed by mountains, a landscape defying all expectation. Sacred sites frozen in time. The breathtaking, gold-leaf-domed shrine of Imam Hussein in Karbala, a center of pilgrimage and spiritual gravity that hums with an energy of profound devotion. Cities layered with history beneath every step. In Erbil, a citadel that has been continuously inhabited for over 7,000 years, you walk on the compressed layers of Assyrians, Persians, and Ottomans. Here's the final shock. The danger people expect isn't what stays with you. The apprehension dissolves on contact, replaced by the overwhelming, disarming hospitality of Iraqis. What stays with you is how wrong the assumptions were. A lingering sense of humility, realizing how much of the world's narrative is written in shorthand, and how much beauty and complexity exists in the erased footnotes. Iraq isn't just a country. It's proof that headlines simplify, and reality is always deeper. It is a living library, a resilient community, and a mirror showing us both where we came from and how distorted our perceptions can be. This was only the beginning. In the next episode, we're going inside a city the world forgot, and the story it never tells. A journey to Basra, where marshes once drained are reborn, where poets whispered in crowded cafes, and where Iraq's future, as much as its past, is being written on the waters. Subscribe and continue the journey.